to summarize us. In a way, we just...
Okay, the question was...
Kyoto Protocol is
like 5 guys that probably love being around each other a bit too much.
Kyoto Protocol is what rock and roll is really about today. And what I mean by that is, in a world where the industry is changing, where you can't sell albums, where majors don't sign people anymore, you know, they just wait for you to become successful and they distribute for you, they take the easy way out. There's no cultivation, there's no support of the talent. So this is what it takes. People say that, oh, it's wonderful to have talent, but I think people don't get that talent sometimes is a burden because you're pressured by, on one level, maybe society, and another level, yourself, to fulfill the capabilities of that talent, you know, to explore the best that you can be, you know.
I think I knew that I wanted to have something to do with music, even before I knew it was anything at all. Meaning to say, my mom tells me when I was young, really young, and before I started speaking, I used to like hit on things. And yeah, the funny thing is, you always think you're pretty good at it, but then you reflect on yourself like a month ago or 6 months ago, and you realize that you're constantly, you know, covering grounds lah. The question is to when I thought I wanted to start doing it, pretty much all the time lah.
When I was a kid, I would listen to my dad playing Deep Purple in the car. And that's where I first started listening to rock music. And it's only natural when you listen to rock music, you want to play guitar. I mean, for me, it's only natural. So I asked my dad, "Oh, can you buy me a bass guitar?" My dad, "No, here, I bought you a cheap acoustic guitar, kapok, right? $100. Okay, here you go. Learn to play music with it." So, okay. Wow. Back then, kapok guitar is like the shiznit lah. Everyone would have kapok guitar. So that's how I started playing music.
I started playing music when I was 5, I think. Mom forced me to do piano lessons and I hated it. Because we had to learn Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and crap like that. And I wanted to play, you know, rock and roll songs. And so I said, screw that. Play piano at school and just play by ear and learn by ear. I can't read music. I'm not great with music theory. Half of the stuff I learned from Fuad and Shaq. Shaq is musician trained, you know.
So I think it was then at 5 when finally I got a cheap acoustic guitar. I think it was like 98 ringgit or something like that. The Green Day, I think, was the first song I learned how to play. When I Come Around, I think that's what it's called. I took classical lessons, and when I went to the international school, they needed bassists for the 8th grade band. So yeah, you know, I didn't know how to read music notes or bass notes. You know, so my mom sat me down and kind of learned how to read it in one night, going through the real basics of basics. And from there, that's picked up the bass. I bought one, I think it was an all-in-one deal, a Squire bass. I still have it. Then more recently, then I finally got a Fender Jazzmaster. And along the way, of course, I took piano lessons and bought a drum set and learned how to play the drums on my own. Kept playing the piano a little bit here and there. So yeah, that's sort of my musical playing background.
2, 3, 4, 5.
A lot of the songs that were on an album I wrote when I was in university, so I had the time to, I suppose, explore who I wanted to be as a musician, actually more as a songwriter. It was a real mix of stuff, a real mixed bag. The best 4.5 became an album. And why I say a half was Gimme Nothing was just a riff and I didn't know what to do with it. And I brought it to the studio and the guys did something right at that moment and then it became a song, it became Gimme Nothing. So
I have to be honest, when Fuad first came with the skeleton of Gimme Nothing, I've told this to his face, I don't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't get it. We didn't have lyrics at the time. We didn't really have a hook. And you listen to those chords, it's so punkish. I'm sitting there with a keyboard going, what the hell am I gonna do with this keyboard, like in this song? You know, the oohs parts, just kind of me mocking it at first. I don't think I've ever told him that part, but it was me kind of just being like la 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 la, a bit like that, just with oohs. And but then the more we played it, the more I would do it, and then it kind of stuck, and it got catchy. And you know, when we played it at shows, people were singing along to it, so you're kind of like, wow. I think that's the first time Fuad realized how, even when he's stuck, we're here to help. Because he is the core writer of the songs. We always add a little bit here, a little bit there, but the element has always been Fuad. And this was the first time that he did let it go, and he realized he could count on us.
Gimme Nothing was the first time where he just said, comes to the studio and goes, I have this riff, I got the ideas with these lyrics, you know, I've got that, and we just jammed it out, and everybody just kind of contributed and said, oh, why don't we do this, or why don't we do that, and, you know, sing it like this. And it worked, it sounded good, and then we jammed it out, and then the singing came along, and all the other parts came along, and, you know, the drums doing a crescendo from, you know, halftime to double time, and everybody just made it work, and it was wonderful.
yeah, I suppose that was one of the biggest evolutions from it being a solo project to being more of a collaborative effort between all 5 of us. And I'm really proud to say that the way the band is, the way the band exists, is anybody can have the say, anybody can come up with ideas. It's very open and flexible in that manner. And yeah, maybe we don't have structure, maybe structure would have given us more material or whatever, but I feel the results would have been completely different and we wouldn't be us. So yeah, I guess it's also on a personal level, it's a journey of relinquishing control, maybe. I sound like a right now.
You got to let it burn, 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 burn. Girl, you are the sauce. Man, I gonna treat you right. Show you this, never saw. Spit hard.
Okay, so now comes the unglamorous part of being in a band. Well, I don't know if you call it glamorous or not. It's about handling the moolah. So number one, we got some money from our gig, so it's up to me to deposit it into the bank account and not spend it all in one place. And also we have to deliver some CDs, so let's go and run some errands. Sometimes I get strange looks from the Bangladeshi, so sleeping. Coffee one. Not that I joined them, I don't think they do. Can I just say, this is actually kind of cool that, you know, someone gets to see this side of the story for one. Yep. I mean, everyone always thinks, wait, hold up. Everyone always thinks that being in a band is all about, I don't know, practicing in front of the mirror and shit like that. But
this is the management side of things.
yeah, so this is how we sell shit. I just keep CDs in my car. That's all I do. So that's what we do, we just keep CDs in the car. So you see, I don't have a lot of time during lunch. I'm supposed to actually eat eventually at some point. So that's why I don't bother with the mall. Got too many people. To be honest, I don't have to do this every day. It's not very often. I think it's, how do I define that? I guess once a week, once in a fortnight. Sounds about right. Like I said, we've been doing this for a while, so one thing you're gonna see is that you know, it's a better way to live your life, just to be nice to people. And we're gonna see some of my friends at the mailboxes over there who have been very good for helping me do the deed of actually getting these into the hands of people who want them, people who paid for them, all around the country. So I think today, very interesting because we're actually going to send something to Kuching. Taking a bit of risk. The Maybank here usually got more people because it's in the mall. The more you learn about human behavior, it kind of sickens you. This one is full because we're in the mall and people think, oh, it's right there, I'll just go there. You know, people don't realize that there's another Maybank really close by. Yeah, so I think I'm done. I'm done with life. So that bank made me want to kill myself.
Let us return.
Yeah, let's
Solitude.
return. Yes. Oh, there's too many people for one day. I think I'm just gonna go back to my bat cave. Shall we?
Well, I guess as an individual, to some extent, over time, obviously, you mature a little bit. And you do learn to work with each other in the band, and things are always not as smooth, but as you move on and you see the progress and what you've done as a group, you realize that yeah, you kind of really want to do this more and more, and you give it all, you know, as an individual.
It's like a drug, you know. After a while, you become addicted to it. You know, playing with like people who are fun. I mean, naturally fun, you know. So me and Shaq would like look at each other and just have that moments lah, you know, have that little moments on stage. Yeah?
I guess the best part is, I mean, I don't know how about the other guys and how their work life is, but my work life is hectic. It's an agency. I work late nights, I work stupid hours, I wake up early, finish late, and you know, you have a bad day, and it happens. You have really bad days where I don't even feel like jamming, but you show up in the studio because you have to, and you made a commitment, and you show up in the studio and everything goes out the door. You forget everything, and it's just 2 hours of awesomeness and fun, and you know, even if it's nothing crazy, it's just practicing the songs. It's just you forget everything, you're just in your own little world, your own little bubble, as opposed to some of my colleagues or even my friends who work hard, and then they come home and are stressed and they take it off on other people, and you see them every time and they've always got something bad to say. I'm glad I'm not that person, let's put it that way. I'm glad that because of the band I get to be who I really am, even outside of work.
What is being a rock star? I mean, that you played in front of 200 people, that's, you know, first time you play in front of 200 people, you're like, wow. And you played in front of 500 people, you're like, wow. You know, every time you're getting more and more wow. To think what future we played in front of maybe what, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, I can't remember. It was a packed crowd, you know. And you just play in front of that and you see everybody react and there's, you know, the big atmosphere and all that, and you're like, wow, such a great feeling. And you get your mom calling you and going like, oh, how was the show? I said, okay. Hey, later when you come back, don't forget to do the dishes. You know what I mean? Like, what is, there's nothing rock starish about that. You know, you say you got dad going, what time you coming home? Don't be home too late, huh? drive safely. Or you go to work on Monday and your boss is like, have you finished that assignment? You know, there's nothing rock starish about that. There's reality. It's just that what I do as a hobby, or maybe a bit more as a hobby, you know, like it's almost like a second job, is a bit different from what other people may do, you know, to fill their time, you know. I think the cliche word is rock star, but if anything, you know, this is what it's like to be a musician, and that's what it really is all about. You know, you're playing music and you want to play that music, and you're playing your own material. You know, I think that's the biggest part for me. You know, is I'm not playing cover songs. We're not a cover band. We do covers, you know, and it's sort of like a fun thing that we do. But playing our own stuff and having people react to it is what fuels me as a musician. You know, I mean, it's nothing better than that. That's the highlight.
I feel like I have a goal in my life, you know what I mean? Because doesn't mean you're just before a bunch of people playing music that is all there is to it, you know. Because getting there, you are exposed to so many different things, you know. The journey is ultimately life's biggest lesson to me, it's a constant teacher, you know what I mean? And by the time it hits the consumer, right, they don't really know why and how, but they feel what is generated by the act, you know what I mean? So that is why that is really, really sweet. So, you know, I feel like I have a purpose on earth, basically.
I feel like a guy who's got a nice hobby that he loves with his 5 best friends, or 4 best friends. I'm the 5th one. And it doesn't feel like, you know, I don't know, if you ask me what like a rock star would be like when I was 20, even 20, yeah, or younger, it was like, I guess what I had in my head was, you know, very diva-ish, very up ourselves, and not to say that that's what I wanted then, but, you know, that's when, if I could act that way, that means I've made it. But even now, we've made it, and I don't even want to be like that. And I don't think anyone in the band wants to be like that. We love being who we are. We love being eccentric and eclectic and fun and humorous and, you know, jumping around, doing stupid shit on stage. We just laugh about it. We just have fun. It's who we are. We're not trying to have an image of, you know, we're this serious rock star band with, you know, big leather jackets, and we always act seriously in front of the cameras and in front of our fans. It's, you know, during the day, when we are at our jobs, we're nice people, and when we're at night, in our second job, I guess you could say, we're still nice people. We're still humble and down to earth and fun and random, I would say. We're very random. Yeah, don't feel like a rock star.
I mean, the foundation is it's music, you know. Everything else, eventually, one will understand that it's actually an industry, it's a business. You've got to think about your listeners, your viewers, so on and so forth. But the foundation is still music. So whether we are doing something like this now, whether we are playing shows, we are definitely still practicing our respective instruments every day, and that will never end, I guess. I guess the day you decide to quit is the day you will stop learning something. It's really fun. I think we all enjoy doing it. So the sensation going on stage and all is the same. I mean, the audience may be bigger now, but essentially it's the same thing. Also, because you mentioned like we've done the festivals and all that, right? I think that's created a hunger, if anything. Like, it's like what next lah? Because we had to think about it. I think we've played every show that we wanted to play in KL. So where do we go from now lah? That's the general consensus lah.
Without realizing it, it has already been 4 or 5 years, and to some extent it kind of feels like we've just started, you know. But then to think of the things that we've done, and the members that have come and gone, and where we are today, it's a bit unreal, to be honest. I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. I just spend a lot more time thinking about what to do next, or more like worrying about what to do next. And I think in general, like, this is a generation of where this whole you can be whatever you want to be, where that statement dies, you know, because our parents lived in the era of the baby boomers, and well, people became successful doing all kinds of stuff, you know. Back then it was just surviving, and now it's post that, what do you do? You know, it's harder and harder for people to really achieve success on their own terms. And I think the key word is how you define it, your own terms. So I'm still defining what success is for the band and haven't found a set definition. So in the meantime, just happy to take it step by step and keep improving as we go along.
I feel what we're taking on is impossible, honestly, because power centers of the world churn out music all the time and artists all the time. You know it's the US, you know it's the UK. Things are coming out of Australia a bit here and there. So it's been very humbling to know that, you know, while you're trying to reach for the la, right, you have to have a lot of respect for your own industry. You just got to suck it up and keep at it lah. There are no guarantees. Yeah. The point initially was, I really feel this is impossible. You know, like what I'm trying to take on with the boys is impossible. So we'll see how everything turns out lah. Yeah.
I think that initial honeymoon period is gone, and now comes to the real nitty-gritty of having to really take charge of what projects and initiatives that you want to do as a band, you know, really take the reins and set your course. And now, when you don't have instructions, when you don't have orders, what do you do? Beats me, man.